Hello everyone, and I'm today in a really beauty, authentic, aesthetic studio of Pilates, and I would like today introduce you to the owner of this beautiful place. She is the owner, as I said, and Pilates instructor. And you can clap your hands to Maria. Boom! Oh, it was too loud from my side. Sorry.
It was probably.
As I said, I already said so many compliments about your place, and I really think that it's one of the most beautiful places here,
Thank you.
in this city, because it's minimalistic. I'm so sorry, but trendy also, and yeah. It's I believe here people who come here, they are also having the same vibe as this place. And I would like to give you a word because I'm talking too much right now, because I'm so excited to meet finally, to do this podcast and talk about this place.
Thank you so much, Victoria. So thank you for visiting us and of course for your interest. I absolutely feel warm-hearted. We are at the studio and I am a founder, and it's such an honor to feel like this, to found something that is looking so fantastically beautiful and trendy, as you said. I think the whole idea of creating this wasn't always visible to me, or at least I didn't know exactly what I want to create. But now when I see it, when I see the whole thing, how it got transformed, how it got developed, and how people feel here, I feel always excited. So thank you so much for your interest. I'm absolutely feeling grateful that people come here and do videos, and they come here to exercise, they come here to rest, stop, pause, and just do something beautiful for themselves.
Yes. So it's not only for inner beauty, but outer beauty, and beauty in a whole, I can say.
Definitely, but I think if we are talking about the vision, I think I can make it in a couple of words. I was always longing to create a place where people can just be themselves. They can pause, reflect, they can slightly exercise, they can also think about what is expecting them outside, and maybe literally be themselves. For that, you only need a simple place where it feels beautiful. Yes, it's part of the exercise. Yes, it's part of our community to feel in a specific vibe, to do exercise as well. So it needs to be a place where people just feel enchanted. Enchanted by the exercise, by themselves, by bare and beautiful settings. So it's all part of that.
And I feel it.
You feel it.
Okay. 100%. Actually, I already understood that we didn't mention the name. It's ovee, correct? Ovee.
So I think
because I saw
yeah.
It's with this, how to say, not point, but
So it's with a dot.
Yes.
It's with a dot on E. So I think I can explain the meaning of ovee. It has a lot of story behind it. So when I was choosing the name of ovee, I was looking for something that is going to make a little bit of meaning. So I love Hindu culture. I've been working with Indians my whole life. So, and it's something where I took a little bit of inspiration. So ovee is a poetic meter, and it's used mainly by people to orally transmit life experiences and work experiences. And the word ovee itself also means strung together, so connected together. So this is why I chose this name, because the point of Pilates studio and social space, I'm calling myself a social space as well, is that we need to connect people. We need to give them an opportunity to be with like-minded individuals. So ovee, this is why it's a name. So it has a lot of meaning to me, but I also try to share it to other people so they understand why it's ovee, why it's not something like Pilates studio, like Pilates studio number 33. So that is it.
A really beautiful meaning. I mean, I didn't know it's kind of Indian thing. But
Yeah.
I believe it's actually like, because I saw it, I thought maybe it's more something about French, is something blah blah blah, because it looks like this. But
Thought is not part of the word, so it was my creation. So when I saw the word and it's just ovee, there's a couple of versions of ovee word, and I just felt I want to be different from the word itself. I didn't want to take a word that is people are using for names, but also as a poetic meter. So I didn't want to take something and just make it my own. So I decided to put a creative twist to that, and that was a dot born. Born as well.
Because you know, like you were like Celine, like Celine with this
Celine.
or without this. You know, like sometimes they have this, sometimes they don't, because of the doesn't matter. But if you're interested in fashion history, you're welcome. And yes, now we can start like with your path, how you come to become a Pilates instructor, like firstly, I believe, and then the founder. But it's not like the obvious choice what to do. I'd say not a jury, not working, I don't know, in an office or something like this. How you started to do this?
So, as you say, the choice is not obvious, and the path to it wasn't obvious either. So I spent 7 years of my life working in a corporate environment. I was working for one of the biggest corporate companies in the world. And I found a lot of meaning and passion for that. And I've been working in compliance, it was HR, and spent a lot of time reading things, making sure that we are up to a level with our law. And actually was working a lot with people. And that was definitely my passion. I loved it from the beginning until the end. I think, unfortunately, it had a little bit of an impact on me because when you give your whole self to something that you love absolutely passionately, and especially when you give yourself to people, it has a little bit of an expiration date. So at right before, maybe a couple of months before my 5th anniversary at the company that I was working for, I felt wrongly. I just didn't feel my whole self. And apparently it was a burnout. So I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with a burnout. I felt absolutely happy. But many things during the year before it happened, I think slightly already felt awkward or somehow wrong. So I didn't know what I felt. So I went to the doctor and she told me the diagnosis, which I absolutely didn't expect. And she said, you are not fit to work. And you have a burnout and you have a depression. And I was like, me? A strong girl like me who loves her job, who loves working with people. And I work with amazing professionals. And it actually changed my life. The whole thing, that explanation, how the doctor approached me. And she explained me that, you know, it sometimes happens when you're overworked, when you give yourself way too much, it happens. She explained me how I'm going to be doing that since then. She gave me 4 months to get rested, not fit to work.
What does it mean? What does it mean not fit to work?
I didn't understand it either. When she told me you're not fit to work, and I said, okay, so I think I'm going like maybe rest, maybe for a week or something. She's like,
okay.
And she explained to me, she's like, no, I think we need to talk about it. And she said, look, you need to get your energy back. You need to take some medications. You need to keep focusing on yourself, on recovery. And only then you will feel your old self. And she asked me a lot of questions. She'd been asking such as, how is your focus? Can you read? Can you focus on reading an article? Can you count without being disturbed? How is your day going on? Are you feeling anxious a little bit? Are you running a lot and you are not thinking, like, am I like good enough? Am I doing everything correctly and in time? I was like, yeah. She said so many things to me. She'd been asking and I just was answering like yes and yes. And then it just struck to me, I need to take care of myself. So that was a gap, a creative gap, because part of the depression and anxiety and all of that burnout yes, you stop focusing on things. You just literally cannot focus. Your brain slightly freezes. And people who are working with this diagnosis, it's gonna return. So I spent 3 months just recovering and thinking, what am I doing with my life? Where I'm going? What is my legacy? Am I leaving something behind? What do I really want to do? And as part of the funny story, I was actually thinking, how do I make my day a little bit funnier? How can I, return my focus? Maybe I can count something. I love Excel. Gosh, I love Excel.
Oh my God.
I'm a boring human. I'm really
you
a
love
boring
Excel.
human. So I was thinking at that time that I'm going just to create something like maybe a business plan, just put something into Excel, maybe count a couple of formulas, just to keep focus on being unfreeze that brain.
Yeah, like to keep track something.
Yeah, and part of that, my husband came to me. We've been living in UK for 3 years. I didn't mention that, but I was already in Pilates. It was helping me with my recovery. I was zoning out. I was absolutely not thinking about work, about anything. And it literally was helping me a lot. And my husband said, look, I have a deal in Czech Republic that I feel I probably should take. And he's like, I'm absolutely excited about it. He's like, what would it take for you to get back home? And I'm like, the only thing I'm actually gonna miss, Pilates. You will find a Pilates. And I didn't. And I was already counting that like Excel. And at that time I was like, maybe a business plan? For what? For Pilates. Maybe it's a Pilates. And it wasn't ever a dream, wasn't ever a passion that I wanted to go like an open Pilates studio for nothing else in the world. No, it just got transformed. It was just an opportunity. I didn't find Pilates that I really loved in Prague. I loved Pilates. It was helping me with my mental health and also with my fitness. And we were moving back to Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So all of that did somehow align. I listened to it. And I just started to count. The plan started to work. And my husband looked at the plan and he's like, it's an amazing plan. Maybe you should go with it. And part of the, I think, anxiety, you need to doom scroll. Doom scroll sometimes can lead to fantastic things.
Yes, and here we are, if I can say.
Here we are. So instead of doom scrolling for clothes, which I already absolutely felt tired of, I decided I'm going to doom scroll as reality.
Okay.
As reality.
Okay.
And I found a fantastic place. I found a couple of places, and the place I absolutely fall in love is this one that we found. Being still in Manchester in UK, I already rented the place. How crazy is that? But sometimes, if you listen to your like way, sometimes maybe
to inner voice.
to even not even inner voice. It's more like coincidences, small coincidences,
Yes.
and background make sometimes the best way for you. So I rented a place. I already had a business plan in my Excel. I was still in recovery. And we were thinking, okay, so I shall go back. I should take another job in corporate. I already had an offer. And then I sat down and I said,
no.
what would it take for me to transfer like all what I know, everything what I have into something new? It's like, actually not much. Just passion, nothing more. And this is how we got born. Actually, the company that I first founded is called the Health Quarters. And it has deep meaning for me personally. I spent most of my days in UK not visiting the surroundings and the fantastic country. I was literally in headquarters, in the headquarters of my company. And day and night, I was coming when it was dark and I was leaving when it was dark. And what I wanted to create for people, I felt like there are so many of us who struggle and trying to find the balance. They still love their jobs, but what they're missing is literally being like in the settings where they can pause. And like, I'm going to be the health quarters. Hell no, not headquarters. After your headquarters, pause for a while, and we are waiting for you in the health quarters. So that was my personal take on it. And then the name of OV came as well. So that all got into the mix. And suddenly I was already opening something. I was founding a company. I wasn't even sure how to do that. All of that just somehow, miraculously, step by step, was just happening. And sometimes you just need to listen to your timing, to the backgrounds, to coincidences, to other people as well. Just go with the flow.
So no, actually,
that is a story.
Yes, this is a really nice story about like how you started and so on. But like, if I'm talking about a little bit about background and so on, like how even you found like the Pilates and you started it, and I believe like to teach other people how to do this or to do the trainings, you need to also like know the people's body, human body, like know how like muscle works and so on. So where you studied, how you found it, and all this like background too.
And as you said, like moving people's bodies or actually teaching people is a huge privilege in anything you do. So regardless of the subject that you are teaching. How I came along Pilates. As anyone else, I was looking through Instagram, I saw some pictures and I found that movement quite attractive. I would say even slightly sexy. So there was a vibe that Pilates transmitted that resonated with me. So I found a studio that was absolutely close to my office, and I was using it honestly as a break from the office work, and it was helping me to focus on something else outside of my work. And it wasn't meant to be like any special activity. So it became that because it allowed me to rest, maybe even zone out during exercise and just feel energized. And it's also a sustainable movement because when I was already on the break, I was increasing hours that I spent in Pilates because it was helping me to recover. Maybe a little bit at the breaking point as well, but because it's such a sustainable exercise, it's a low impact, it's such a gentle one if it needs to be. And there are fantastic people that are doing that. So you can sustain that. So this is how I fall in love because I was doing more and more of that. I started twice a week, actually once a week. Then I got into twice a week, and then I transferred into like 3, 4, 5
every day,
and then it ended every day twice a day. I never wanted to be a teacher, but I actually studied pedagogy and didactics and linguistics, all of that. So it quite came handy. I was doing quite a lot of teaching. I'm not saying teaching, I would say mentoring in my corporate role. And I always loved to lifting other people by transmitting the knowledge. So it's part of the passions that I just was actually born with. And then the Pilates came along. I didn't want to be a Pilates trainer as such, but to found a business and not to and to understand it from the solid ground, you'd better know what you're doing. And this is how I decided that I'm going to enroll myself into the training, and then I'm going to see, am I going to teach, am I not going to teach? And I fall in love with teaching, moving people's bodies, helping people to achieve their goals. And maybe honestly, sometimes even hear their stories. When they come and they don't know how to move and they've never done any exercises. And then after 2, 3, 4 weeks, they come back and they say, you know, my husband noticed that I'm slightly leaner. Or my boyfriend invited me for a date and he said like, you know, you are just shining. Because when you exercise, you take care of yourself. It boosts your confidence. It also boosts quite a lot of metabolism in you. Your muscles look different. You drink more. So you just literally glow. So as I said, moving people's bodies is a privilege.
Yes,
and
definitely.
I'm always treating it like this. And sometimes I feel, and I think it's coming to along to like what makes me so happy doing that. It's just people. Like working with people, honestly, is something that I love. So if you are not in love with with other people and in love with their nuances and maybe peculiarities, it's not going to be the job for you. So you're gonna be struggling.
Yes.
That is. I hope it answers your question.
Yes, definitely it answers. And like this question mark of also about the Pilates, which maybe people have in their minds. I mean, especially Pilates on reformers, because it's kind of a little bit different than the ordinary Pilates, if I can say so. But what is the difference, like, between the, for example, stretching, yoga, going to the gym, and Pilates on reformers? Because, as you said, it's as I understood from my point of view, it's like it's yoga, but it's not yoga. It's stretching, but it's not stretching. But you exercise at the same time, and you're like, actually, what it is?
What it is. So I think it's important to mention what you ask is a relevant question. People still asking me these days, why suddenly reformer Pilates? Why not mat Pilates? Why not gym?
Yes.
What are my benefits? So reformer Pilates is a low impact exercise, which means you can do quite a lot of things even when your body is not ready. The reformer itself, the difference between mat and reformer. So the mat is when you are literally on the ground,
yes,
or when you are on the machine, is a big difference. So when you are on the ground, you literally rely on your body strength and on gravity.
Yeah.
So
if you are bad at this, you will fall.
It's definitely tough to exercise with your own body, and I have a lot of admiration to people that do mat Pilates. However, the gentle way of moving your body or starting to move your body is the reformer, because you can adapt the resistance. You can modify some of the exercises that you previously were not reaching that level. You were not able to lift your body up. You were, for example, not strong with your core. Maybe your knee was injured, or your shoulder was not working. Everything you can modify on the reformer. So with the correct technique, of course, quite a lot of things are possible. Another fantastic thing between the reformer is that it gives you the weight resistance. And throughout your exercise, we modify it. It means that you will never grow tired or, I would say, bored of the exercise, because constantly we just add a little bit more. So we know
like
you are...
It's like more weight or actually less weight?
And it depends on the exercise. A great question again. Sometimes reformers, the springs, like in every single teacher, the first thing they need to understand what the springs are doing. The springs are those things that are actually helping you to move on the carriage. So they are those spiral things that are attaching the carriage to the start of the reformer. And when you are moving against the springs. So sometimes the springs are helping you. So they help you to lift your body where your core is, for example, not yet ready for lifting yourself up. A good example can be just a regular like exercise with your core. When you're lifting yourself up. Not everybody can do that. Sometimes the spring can help you to lift it up because it pulls you to the front. Sometimes it's adding you a challenge. So you can move your leg. You can, for example, push the carriage, because we know you can. We will add you a little bit of weight so you work against the resistance.
Okay.
In mat Pilates, there is not much of a resistance. You work just against your
body,
your gravity, that is it. Here you work against the machine or in
like
alignment with the machine.
It can be helpful, it can be your friend or enemy.
Oh, enemy. Fantastic. Gym, reformer Pilates, another important thing to say. So in Pilates, we don't grow the amount of muscles here. So it's a low impact. We work on endurance, we work on balance, we work on flexibility sometimes as well. Not that much, of course, as people expect. It's not
stretching.
It's not stretching. It's not about flexibility as such. So core, balance, strength training, it's all about reformer. Gym, if you want a little bit of growing your muscles in terms of the shape, it's called hypertrophy in English. It's not for Pilates, so you will not be able to achieve it. So if you're literally working on the form of your muscle, it won't help. So if you've probably seen all the girls in Pilates, they are quite lean. So the muscles are long and they are literally lean. They are small in size. So it's just your body, your muscles in the shape that you were born with. If you're correcting something, it's definitely gym. So we don't have a lot of equipment here to achieve the same impact. What else?
You said all of these things
Yeah.
which I've asked, but
Fantasy.
okay. Yeah, but okay. Now I see the point. Kind of like here, if I can like make it in summary, it's not stretching. You can do some flexibility things, but not that much. Pilates on the mattresses, like on the floor, it's another also thing, which is like, how to say, could I say it's more complicated? Like how to say Pilates on the mattress, if I understood?
I would say it's more challenging at the start. It's not really more complicated. The repertoire, I would say, in mat Pilates probably is equally wide as in Reformer, or maybe even Reformer is slightly bigger because of the planes of motion. So you can exercise in more planes of motion, meaning horizontally, vertically, and even diagonally on Reformer. You cannot do this on mat, which is a fantastic thing. It's more difficult at the start, as you say. And then it has its limits. Once you've progressed enough, you won't feel any more challenge.
Yes, you can.
On Reformer, you constantly add yourself additional weights, additional resistance that is going to help you.
I see. So, in comparison with gym, it's more like, okay, you won't grow your muscles, but can I say that you will be not thinner, but your your muscles will grow, but not in the way that they will be bigger, but
they will not increase in shape.
Yes, but they display between your muscles. Yes, will be not bigger, but how to say it? You won't have this much fat anymore. Okay, let's say it like this.
I would say and this is where we should be honest, and where I am honest with my clients. Losing weight in Pilates is honestly hard because it's a low impact. You don't have enough time, enough of resistance, and maybe also opportunities to lose weight, fat, I would say. So what, however, Pilates can help with, and gym is a perfect place for that, because you have so many exercises and it's such a variety. If you are working literally on your fat mass, probably combine multiple things such as running, Pilates, and maybe weightlifting. Here in Pilates, however, long term, we mostly build the right healthy habits. After Pilates, you don't feel hungry. After the gym, after
you
the
are
exercise,
hungry
you would eat
everything.
a whole bull,
Goat.
whole elephant.
Yes.
And after Pilates, you don't. And part of that is just you fall in love with exercise. It's not that difficult at the start. You constantly add by 5%, by 5%, by 5%, which allows you to stick to the habit. And then your metabolism is, of course, increasing. Your muscles are getting toned, not getting bigger, getting toned. So it motivates you to stay on your journey and just maybe change your eating habits. Maybe also slightly do some running, because you are already fitter. We breathe in Pilates
which is
lot.
really important.
So we breathe with our diaphragm. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. So you're literally use the whole body to breathe. So you are increasing your lungs capacity. It means once you are starting running for the first time, you are much more equipped than when you didn't go for Pilates before. So it just generally and very gently promotes this healthy lifestyle.
Okay, I see now. So like, okay, it's more like healthy lifestyle and like this healthy habit you can have to just simply not feel that much overwhelmed, hungry, tired, and etc. How to say? I believe in the combination of every other like exercises, what you can do, it will be the great addition to it. And now we won't only talk about reform Pilates, but as you can see, we will try it. But okay, I will try it because I've never done it before and I don't know how to do it. And I believe you too. And Maria will like explain and do this training with me. And you will see a little bit closer how these trainings are going.
Let's get started.
Now you see a little bit of them, a little bit of what Pilates is, and you can come here and check it here too.
Yes, and just to say, it's just 0.01% of the repertoire we offer here. So we offered you one beginner exercise, one intermediate exercise, and one advanced. So I hope you love it.
Me personally, yes, thank you. I believe we answered the questions of the people. Now they will know also like what it is, but I mean, still people will ask. But now I would like to also focus, like we started about this, but I want to focus also about the business point of view, the business part of it, because as you said, and as I already asked you, because we were talking about this, don't pretend it wasn't, you do this whole by yourself. And you started this with this business plan, with idea somehow came to your mind, this idea somehow came to your mind. So how you literally started here and how you develop it for now?
Miraculously.
Okay.
I would say,
Points.
you know, I am reflecting on things I've done. And as you said, I do everything on my own. It comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of tiredness. And I think part of the journey is not to get crazy about it, but how I did, like, the whole plan was about me just building a studio from the money that I already saved without any additional money intake. It was just whatever I have is for the studio and I need to make it work. So some of those I have to do on my own was part of that, because I had a fixed amount of money that I needed to invest into studio, and somehow I needed to make it work. So it all started with me being a teacher for the start. So it came quite handy. So I don't pay anyone. I can afford myself to make a little bit of mistakes, ask people for feedback, grow the clientele without, being at risk of not paying for somebody, for example. Additionally, everything that is here at the studio is being assembled by me, being bought by me.
Even the walls.
Some of the walls, actually, me and two of my architects, we've been like the curved wall, that is, people love that curved wall, but it was created by well, three.
Okay,
Three
you
girls.
too.
So it's from Itong. I'm going to say it out loud. Itong is not the most heavy material, but we literally been assembling it. And then once we've done the shape, of course, the construction guys came and helped us a little bit. But many of those things that we see is done by women. So is it only for women?
Woman power.
Is it only for women? No, we do it for everybody. But I think the power of the specific studio is that it's mostly by women-led and women-owned, and just all the creative ideas and all the beautiful things have been done by women. I took it as a project manager, the whole thing. So how I didn't get crazy is I had phases. Part of my corporate background, I was a project manager. It was my bread and butter. So how to divide a project, how to make it work without getting crazy about it. So I divided into phases. I assigned quite a lot of things to myself, because if you're not able to pay for people's work, you'd better don't ask them, do it yourself. So I've put quite a lot of priorities. I'm not able to do a design myself. I've hired fantastic
designers
and
architects.
Two ladies actually. So two young girls who were working on the design. Yes, we've made quite a lot of mistakes along the way. Is in any construction, but some of those mistakes got transformed into fantastic ideas and opportunities in the studio. So I was absolutely thrilled to work with them. Some of the work which I knew I can be doing myself, like for example construction supervision. Why do I have so many videos from the construction? Because I was supervising it myself most of the time. I was here with workers. I was making sure that the things are done. I was trying to look how they are done and fixing them before it's too late. So I didn't pay for that. I wasn't able to, but I did it on my own. It gave me a lot of skills. Other things, web, reservation system, photos. I was my own model at the photos. It would be great to hire a girl that would, shine and be like absolutely confident in front of a camera. But I felt, let's be more authentic. Let's just do what we have, and that's it. And I think it's also part of the attractive point for people, because it's me in front of my studio, me as a cleaner, me as an accountant, me as a web designer and reservation system
and teacher
and
Not
a teacher
trainer, sorry.
and customer service. So the more people we have here, it's actually adding more to customer service, to additional things, and it's just adding up. And I think because the first phase was construction, it's now ending and we are almost done actually. So it's in 1 month we are fully done with the design. I think I can now take a little bit more into business development and being more with people, the desires that I, being with people and moving people's bodies. So I think this is it. So being a project manager of the studio helped me to divide those work, so I don't get crazy. Okay, let's be honest. I did get crazy multiple times. I was crying at the studio.
Probably, yes.
I was losing clients. I was terrified teaching in front of a big room. I was upset that I paid for something that didn't turn out to be beautiful. I made mistakes such as reservation systems and all of that. You won't survive until you accept, I'm going to go crazy, I'm gonna be crying, I'm going to be challenged, and I will be probably alone. So
but it's okay.
But it's a beautiful journey. I can only advise to go and create, because if you see the vision at the end of the tunnel, you see how it should be shaped, and you see people's smiles. This is when it becomes it doesn't really matter what is there. Is a mirror, is there is a perfect wall, maybe there is a little bit different thing I wanted. it becomes absolutely like,
Okay, it becomes just, it's just these small things which like we are doing as a perfectionists, and actually for other people they don't even see it and think about it, so it's literally just in our minds, like, and that's what's making us crazy, and that's what like you are doing here, making people not that crazy about these small things, and yourself also, like how to say, teaching yourself how to not like focus only on the small things, which doesn't matter actually at all. And I believe like here people can feel how much of your power, of your, I don't know, enthusiasm you put here, like to build everything here, to go to this construction, to see all this like falling down, I don't know, whatever happened here, but how it turned out like to the people, and they see just simply beautiful, minimalistic, and how to say, just a nice place to come, to go, to spend your time. This is the most important thing.
absolutely, and it's I think part of where I bring a lot of strength. So I just need to, like pat myself on the shoulder on this, because you switch roles so rapidly and quickly. So in the morning you are the construction, and you are that, like very strict girl that is constantly like unhappy about things, and you are like,
Picky all the
picky,
time.
stressed and anxious about many things. And then you go to the classes where you want to definitely transmit tranquility, and it's part of those things. I think I would say 90% of time I was able to, after construction, after all the admin work I've done during the day, come and just be like chilled. So people feel always a beautiful part of it. Of course, people that are asking me questions will always get an honest answer. No, it's not easy. It's not a successful success. There is a lot of work behind it, and even tranquility comes as is not a cheap thing. Like,
of course,
putting on your best face, and like the tranquility, and just it requires a lot of skill. So I think this is where I need to be very grateful to myself that the corporate world trained me so well to switch on, switch off, and be like at the moment. So I hope people are also learning it here as well. So 5 minutes before the lesson, I'm still doing some of the admin stuff, and I'm on the phone and I'm trying to do things. Once the lesson in, I'm smiling. I am happy to see them, and they are smiling too. I hope they see that difference between like she's here, she's there. So I hope it's also attractive in terms of like, as an example.
Yes, I believe it is like definitely 100% that they see it and they hear it, and that's a great thing what people can learn. Like when you come somewhere, just say bye-bye to all of your problems and just focus on something, like on yourself, whatever you are like to focus better on yourself, to feel yourself, what actually Pilates do. It's helping you to feel yourself, just because, as you said, we are losing our focuses, we are thinking about, I don't know, money, I need to cook, I need to clean, I need to do this thing, I need to do that, oh my gosh, someone said that, and you are all around these things, and then you come here and you feel, okay, I just can do.
You don't really feel that, honestly. So it's another skill that people show me here, and I admire them for that. So to work out on reformer requires a lot of focus. You can fall. You can literally fall off reformer. You can do things that do not make any sense, and just switch off as well. It's something that people train to do here. So it's not automatic. People sometimes don't understand what they're doing because they've been focusing on work and they keep thinking about work. But then very slowly they understand, okay, I can actually fall. I forget to breathe. I don't do this correctly. And they just start focusing on that more. And this is when the transformative moment comes. They are in their
Yes.
zone,
Yes.
relaxed, thinking about something else. After 45 minutes of the exercise, they just
Okay.
go to the world prepared.
So they have transformation while doing the transforming Pilates. Let's say it like this. Keep it simple.
Transformative power of Pilates.
Yeah. No, I mean I just like the reformer, transformer, all these like things, synonyms kind of. But we will go like to the end. But before, I would like to ask you for some of your future plans. I believe they are great. You ambitious about like to have it maybe more plays or whatever your ambitious are.
Ambitious but realistic. So
Okay.
at the moment, I think my biggest dream is to get the studio up and running. It needs quite a lot of things to deliver in terms of operations, how the studio works, teachers, and I think the biggest milestone for me is to find a great team of teachers which are going to be happy here and they are going to transmit the same energy as I do, and it's not an easy part. Of course, being just a girl, I'm also ambitious. I dream about a second studio. So this studio, we already said, it's more like Hindu culture, it's more like into Bali style. So you see it's beige and very flowy, it's very stony, it's a little bit cold, a little bit rough. The second studio I dream about is going to be in Japanese style. And it's another style I'm absolutely like in love with. So we already have a name. We will release it soon. So once the studio is a little bit more into...
It will be different name, obviously.
So the house quarters is going to stay as a main brand. Every single studio we are going to create, either in Prague or somewhere else. You've noticed we have .eu. So it's not only here, like maybe we can go somewhere else. There's a lot of opportunity to build those spaces, and Pilates studios is going to be more popular, but social spaces are even probably more currently in requirement. So the next studio is going to have its own name, its own vibe, a little bit more like of its own philosophy.
Interesting.
All of that. So any studio we open is going to have a name. So, and you can always travel between those studios and just have a similar experience, but slightly in a different settings.
Yeah. Interesting, because usually it's like, let's put the same thing but with different souls. But here is the same souls but different thing, I can say. Vice versa.
Definitely. And I'm pretty sure that people that have been currently working out in ovee would love to go to another studio and just feel like a little bit different sensuality, a little bit different mood and vibe. It's important. Part of the exercise is feeling a certain way. So today you are in the mood of a Hindu culture, you are in Bali, and the second day you are in Japan, in Kyoto, and all of the parts of the studio are going to resemble that. So traveling the world in Prague through Pilates.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, and I believe everything will be just like as you wish, and I wish you good luck, of course. And at the very end, I would like to ask you for a piece of advice, kind of for people. You can say how you feel, from your heart, maybe to the people who are also interested in some startup and they are like, I want, but scared or something, but as you wish.
I get it. So I think I have one only advice. So being through what I've been, I think it's very simple, generic to all people. Trust the timing of your life. So it's something that I've never done in my life, and only now I can understand it. So the business and the idea and everything came to me in a spur of a moment. It came absolutely miraculously. And I was constantly, all my life, I was struggling and planning something like how I'm going to return back to corporate offices when I'm on a maternity leave, or maybe after that, or how I'm going to, once I graduate from Charles University, how I'm going to find a job, how difficult it's going to be. Please don't plan. Just stick to what life gives you. Of course, be ambitious, do things, and keep challenging yourself, but just trust the timing of your life. Your things will find you, and I think just with honest heart, I'm going to say it works. So it does.
Thank you. Yes, like trust the process.
Trust the process is another thing that is now the motto. Trust the process.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you there.
Yeah, and we can see it on your example that it is. It definitely is. So thank you for this piece of advice, and I believe how to say this place and what is your philosophy or something like literally connected, and people can feel it here, and this is what they're searching for. And I believe that more and more people will find this place and who are having the same mindset and something, and just literally having this mental rest from this hideous world, I guess.
And maybe even inspiration. I've heard so many stories how people visited us and said, you know, after the visit of that beautiful studio and after the exercise, I just went directly to the cafe and started calculating my personal project.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those when my heart is melting.
Mm-hmm.
So it should inspire people to go outside of the world and do something with their lives, with their ambitions and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It might be Pilates. If you're dreaming about Pilates studio and now seeing the studio, come and chat to me. I'm happy to help. I don't see, this as a big problem to my business. No, I see it as a fantastic opportunity to build a community here. Yeah. If you are working on something creative, and you feel the vibe is resonating with you, go in and get inspired and chat to people that are already here, get connected. There are so many people here. They are doctors, they are actresses, stunt professionals, ballet dancers. We also had painters and moms and fantastic people even already after their retirement. We have such a huge range of people who can inspire you for just taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
So take this opportunity, come and just be inspired.
Yes. So we found this place where we can be inspired and feeling like, okay, I can do it. I would like to say thank you for this chat, for sharing your mindset, for sharing your ideas. I really appreciate it, and I hope people who is watching this, they would feel the same thing and try Pilates. Try Pilates. Maybe it's not for you, but you can try.
You can definitely do. So thank you so much, Victoria, for coming along. And it's just a fantastic feeling that somebody is interested in the studio, in its development, and maybe even philosophy. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I highly appreciate you.
We are so nice.
You are a welcome guest here.
We are thank you too. Oh. Too nice. Okay.
Boring.
Boring, yes. So thank you. Please follow the ovee. Follow this channel, write the comments, likes, whatever you want, and yes, be inspired. Thank you, and bye bye.